Welcome back. TKM Extreme's up next, and the championship leader is Charlie Bruce Wright. Charlie had a pretty good first round. You never won the televised final that we saw, but you came out of the round in the championship lead.
Yeah, I had a good first round, good points. Led it after that, although after the heats yesterday, I think I've actually lost it because I didn't do quite so well. But I still got a grid 4 start for the final, so looking in good shape.
That's final one. We're going to be seeing the televised final, so it depends on how you finish that first final today as to where you'll finish up on the grid for final two. It looks like Will Van Ness could be the main competitor to you for the championship. I've got you down as the championship favourite this year. You never raced last year, did you?
No, I did a one-off race at Shannington, which I won. But yeah, Will's very much, I think, the main title contender, and I'm chasing him down after the heats. But I think in the wet, I'm looking quite strong.
And Glanigorse Park, you like this circuit?
I like it in the wet. I'm not so keen in the dry. In the wet, it's a bit easier to overtake. It suits the TKMs better because they don't have much power and they got quite a lot of grip. So on this fast track in the wet, there's a lot more skill involved, I think.
They'll certainly be using the utmost of their skill. Paul Monks on the front row of the grid with Will Van Ness there alongside Charlie Bruce Wright and Jack New on row 2. Joe Forsdyke in the O-plate alongside Luke Graver in 6th position. Simon Verco and Andrew Lawrence on row 4. And on row 5, it's John Hogan and James Ogden. This one should be a cracker. At the very first time of asking, we went away in slippery conditions, and then this happened. It was Andrew Lawrence involved in a bit of a pile-up, but his kart is broken, and that means he's out. The race is red flagged, and he's not taking any further part. But we get away this time. Hopefully it's going to be clean. And around the first corner, a little bit of jostling for the lead. That's all fine and dandy as they race for the first corner. And up in front, we still have Paul Monks out in front, just holding it from the number 4 of Will Van Ness as the rest of the field jostle for position. A little bit close into Spoon, but everybody okay, pretty much cleanly as they race their way down the hill. And Will Van Ness trying to hold off 3rd position. That looks to be Charlie Bruce Wright now up into 3rd position, and it's all getting very close once again.
Paul Monks is somebody I've known for a long, long time, and if there's ever any driver that supported this class and karting in particular, it's Paul Monks. This is one of his home tracks, if you like. Comes from Wigan, so Three Sisters would be his absolute home track, perhaps his favourite, along with the Rowra where he races and has raced for a long time. So we see one driver running wide there. We've got a spinner, the 61 kart at the back of that group. There's Jack New. He's spun off. He was starting towards the front of the field as well. So bad day for Jack now as Will Van Ness looks up the inside of Paul Monks. Paul Monks won the earlier final. Nearly has that place taken off him. It's the 43 card who's out as well. That's Douglas Hayford. So we get Van Ness down the inside. He's lost a place coming down the hill and trying to get it back. The O-plate is Forsdyke, and the 10 kart running wide is Simon Verco. It's all happening in behind. Meanwhile, Paul Monks is making the best of it. Van Ness has lost a number of places here.
Yeah, Jack New spun, and I think it took John Hogan wide at the final corner, and he was throwing his arm in the air. What are you doing? Well, he just lost control of the car. He didn't take you off. It was just you had to take avoiding action, mate. There's nothing you can do. It's racing. So it's Monks leading, Bruce Wright second, then Forsdyke, and Will Van Ness recovering in 4th position, having lost a whole chunk of time. But for Paul Monks, it's looking very safe and steady at the front.
If you cut Paul Monks in half, it will say TKM Karting. He's one of those drivers that has been in junior and the senior variation of the TKM classes. There's a little bit of contact there between Van Ness and Forsdyke, but no damage done. Come down through the carousel. Will Van Ness having another look, but Forsdyke holds on. The 5 kart Luke Graver gets closer. Yeah, Paul Monks, I was saying, he's been in the TKM classes since he was a junior. Junior TKM must be something like 10 years that I've known him. He's been in the TKM classes. He supported this class through thick and thin, Paul Monks. If Talco, the engine manufacturers, still run a works driver, I don't think they do anymore, but if they did, they could do worse than Paul Monks because he's been supporting this class for absolutely years. He leads from Charlie Bruce Wright, in 3rd place still Forsdyke, with Will Van Ness still there in 4th place, the number 4.
And I tell you what, a win in conditions like this for Paul Monks would be the perfect advert to any team, let alone the Talco Works outfit, if they are still running one, of course. This is a brilliant performance from Paul Monks, considering he's never won a televised final. He is hanging on valiantly, and speaking of hanging on valiantly, Forsdijk is having to get on with it. Van Ness up the inside, beautifully done there. Will Van Ness taking advantage of a bit of a slip there from Joe Forsdijk, but you haven't heard the last of this battle. If I know Joe, he ain't done yet. He's probably going to try and hustle Will Van Ness into making a similar mistake as they come out of the last corner. And there's a battling pair behind them as well, as Graver now gets it on with Verco. So the battle for 5th position is heating up as well, as Simon Verco chases down Luke Graver, and that's a retirement possibly for Kyle Sproat, trying his best to rejoin. Looks like he's running perfectly well to get that car back on the road and getting a bit of downhill momentum as well. That'll help. Paul Monks, though, in the number 9. Not only is he leading, but he's actually pulling away, and that's exactly what he needs. Oh, huge moment there from Paul Monks as he clips the curb on the inside, and that was the most spectacular save you'll ever see in karting. Look at it again. Turns into the right-hander, bang, on the curbs. Wow, that is magnificent kart control. I think he should win the Joe Hart Award for Save of the Season. That was absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, I'm not sure Paul will look back on that with relish. He shouldn't be anywhere near that curb in these conditions. Will Van Ness puts in the fastest lap at 53.22. The Tag Heuer fastest lap. You see the inside rear wheel lifting there. No differentials on karts, so it has to lift. It's got a solid rear axle, so it has to lift the inside rear wheel to get round the corner effectively to come down through the carousel. Paul Monks is under pressure here from Charlie Bruce White as we approach the back end. Now, will he clip this curb again? He does. That surprises me, I have to say. That surprises me.
This is a guy who is dancing on a knife edge here. He's got the potential to win his first televised final, and again, running across the curbs on both sides of the track. This is a man who is willing to take risks. He runs a little bit deep into Paddock Bend. Fortunately for him, so does Charlie Bruce White, and the last lap board could not have come out at a better time, because Paul Monks is walking the tightrope of spitting his kart out into the undergrowth. This is a very tough drive from Paul Monks, and after a save like that a few laps ago, you would have thought that Paul Monks was not going to go anywhere near those curbs, but no, he's determined. He's knuckling down, and trying his best to get away from Charlie Bruce White, taking the wide line that you should do in conditions like this to get yourself the best possible traction. Does he hit the curb again? No. Oh no, he does. I thought he was going to miss it, but he does hit it. Goodness me, Paul Monks is very fortunate that he's got enough of a gap to Charlie Bruce White. This has been a determined, dogged, concentrated drive from Paul Monks, and he very nearly lost it, but what a save, what a recovery, and after it all, what a win! He is delighted, and I don't blame him. Charlie Bruce White second, and Will Van Ness comes home in third. What a drive from Paul Monks. That was worthy of drive of the season after that save.
Well, you were leading the first race, then the red flag came down. It was a bit difficult for you to get through the third. You got through the third in the end, and it was a bit lonely.
A little bit. We've been struggling today, to be honest with you. We had seriously good dry pace, but we had no wet testing, and we come into the wet and didn't know setup. We're just messing about with setup. Completely different setup in this final to the one before, and this, to be honest with you, was even worse. I don't really understand, what's happened, but to be honest with you, 2 podiums, it's a good result. Good points. I think we're probably leading the championship now, so take it on to the next round and hopefully a better result there.
Charlie, I thought one moment there you were going to get through to the lead, but Paul just too quick for you in the end.
Yeah, he made a mistake halfway round, and I caught up a bit, but he just had a tenth or two on me. So I was quite happy with a straightforward race in second. No one challenged me, so pleased with that for points.
Paul Monks, I've just got one word for you, my friend. Finally.
You're telling me. No, we've had a good weekend, to be fair. We won the first final. Will's been quick all weekend. Start of that race, I managed to get the jump on him, then the red flag came out. I thought I've got to do it all again now. But I managed to get the front at the start, and then managed to keep it there, got my head down, and managed it, finally.
Finally, indeed. Great drive from Paul Monks, and it moves him to third in the championship points table of TKM Extreme. Will Van Ness still leads the way by just 7 points to Charlie Bruce White, with Monks there in third. Luke Graver and Joe Forsdijk are close in fourth and fifth, and Simon Verco rounds out the top 6. Brilliant racing in the TKM Extreme here at Glanagos Park. Now after the break, we're going to be taking a look at KGP, and last time out, of course, at Rowra, there was this dramatic incident, and we talked to Mark Litchfield, the man who was docked 5 places at the end of the race, about his views. We'll also talk to clerk of the course Phil Cox about the MSA fixed penalties. All to come after the break.